Yes, sir. I, Hans Anton Tan, of legal age, Filipino, and in with prison, with prison number N210P 1320, after having been sworn in accordance with law, do thereby depose and say the following. I am serving a life sentence in MVP for the crime of murder. I've been here for the last 6 years since 2010. I was detained in Quezon City Jail since 2001 until my transfer to MVP. I'm a member of Sige Sige Commando Group under the leadership of J.B. Sebastian. I met Judd Adrian Dera, known to us as Judd, in the afternoon of December 15, 2014. The NBI raided MVP Maximum Security and took 19 inmates. Judd called me in the afternoon through a common friend. He introduced himself as a nephew and close in security of then Secretary Laila de Lima. I declined the phone call. After 10 months, about 10 months later, which October 2015, when I got transferred to Building 14, he reestablished contact with me. This time, he told me he is now connected with the NCRPO raid under General Pagdilao. He came to visit me a couple of times, and I to introduce him to Peter Ko and J.B. Sebastian. Sometimes on March 25th, 2016, Peter Ko was visited by his niece and niece's husband. After the couple left, he received a phone call saying that they are now under the custody of NCRPO raid. Though no evidence was recovered, a test has come out positive. At first, they were demanding 5 million peso. I spoke to the man on the phone and told him we don't have that much money. Since Peter Ko cannot speak or understand Tagalog, he threatened to file charges against the couple. And Jose Adrian Dera happened to call me, and I remember he is with a group, so I asked for his help. We huggled on the phone. After later that day, he called us and said that the group agreed to 1 million peso. Peter told Judd through me to pick up the said amount in one of the popular casinos and to deliver it to the alleged group to buy the freedom of Peter's niece and husband, plus of that of their companion, which Judd did successfully. Later on, I found that Peter also gave Judd another 1 million peso for some other reason. In total, I found has given Judd around 5 million peso throughout the entire time until the senatorial election. We lost contact with Judd until after the election, just after the election. Now Judd is reported to be with Senator Laila de Lima again as their personal security again. Record of Judd coming to Building 14 has been found. Peter also has proof of Judd's claiming the amount of the 1 million peso in one of the popular casinos in Metro Manila, as well as the deposit slip of the said amount to Judd's account. I also helped Judd to acquire 5 kilos of shabu during the entire campaign period. I am executing this affidavit to attest the truthfulness and veracity of the foregoing facts and circumstances.
Thank you for that, Mr. Tan. Do you want to add anything to what you had already said and is contained in this sworn statement? Anything to add to this?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing. Not this moment, sir.
Now, may I just ask you, were you coerced, were you bribed, or were you threatened in executing this sworn statement and in your coming to this committee hearing to testify?
No, I'm not, sir.
So this is voluntary on your part?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, Mr. Secretary,
since all witnesses have been sworn in, I think All
We now call them in so that we can start with the interpellation.
That's right,
May
Mr.
I
Chair.
request the page or the security people to usher in the 4 other witnesses who testified earlier, and but Mr. Tan is already here, and the other resource persons are here. We can already start with the interpellation. So next on our list is Congressman Fortun, followed by Congressman Teves, and
Mr. Chair, while the other witnesses are not yet around and they might be the persons who could answer the questions of Congressman Forton, I'd like to make a manifestation from the committee, Mr. Chair. Being the 16th Congress and the member also of the Committee on Justice, I looked into some records and documents in coordination with our committee secretary here in relation to the manifestation or the revelation of General Magalong of the PDEA, which are very credible and explosive. So that based on our records in the hearings of the Committee on Justice and the 16th Congress, it appears that the Director General of the PDEA for many times had written Franklin Bucayo, the former director of the Bureau of Corrections, and reiterated by a memorandum addressed to the Secretary of then Secretary of Justice, Secretary De Lima, requesting for the of a memorandum of agreement between PDEA and Bucor in order that PDEA could address the continuing issues and concerns in the proliferations of illegal drug activities inside the prisons and the other penal colonies. And the first letter of Director was made last April 2, 2013. This was followed up on April 10, 2014. And then another memorandum dated November 27, 2014 addressed to Secretary De Lima requesting information on the status between PDEA and Bucor in order that PDEA will have now access and could have jurisdiction in the investigations in the proliferations of illegal drugs at the National Bilibid Prison. Now, based on the records, although it was not acted that fast, on March 2015, there was already that memorandum of agreement between the Bureau of Corrections and the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, dated March 25, 2015. PDEA here was represented by Director Kakdak. So may I hear from the PDEA representative, after the signing of whether PDEA had exercised over the powers and the responsibilities afforded to them as provided in this memorandum of agreement, considering that in the testimony of the PDEA representative, in that particular raid that was conducted on December 2015, PDEA was left isolated except for the use of their canine.
Mr. Chair, ano po ba yung focus natin dito? We are here to interpellate kasi po we're concentrating on sworn statements. Ito po yung gusto namin sanang unahing tanungin habang nandito po yung mga witnesses.
iniintay pa po natin yung mga witnesses kanya pinagbibigyan.
Baka ma-confuse tayo. Merong manifestation
Hindi po.
dito, may manifestation doon. So maguguluhan na po kami
Hindi
dito. Ano
hindi
ba
po tayo.
itatanong namin talaga?
Hayaan niyo pong problemahin po yan ng chairman. Ako po
Ayaw ko pong mamroblema kayo, Mr. Chair, dahil kaibigan ko po kayo. Alam niyo
Kanya
naman
nga
yun.
po, kanya yung proceedings po natin, ipamahala niyo po sa akin na mga tao kanya pinagbibigyan po natin ng mga oras na ito. Meanwhile, the floor is with Vice Chair Uaminal. Bago niyan, can we hear just a clarification from PDEA kung ano na po nangyari dito sa MOA na ito?
Your Honor, after of the Memorandum of Agreement between the Bureau of Corrections and the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, every time that there is a Greyhound operation conducted in the New Bilibid Prison, Your Honor, our canine dogs are being requested. So that's our participation, Your Honor.
Well, in the memorandum of agreement, your participation should not only be limited to the 9. You were given some sort of jurisdiction or some sort of authority to enter into the NBP for purposes in relation to your functions and mandate of the agency.
Insofar as PDEA is concerned, that's what the request during Greyhound operation, Your Honor, is only limited to the canine use of in the Greyhound by the New Bilibid Prison, Your Honor.
Yeah, but this MOA was already entered after the raid. So we would like to know whether your has complied or has done your duties and responsibilities as provided in this memorandum of agreement. Because the last statement that we heard from you is that PDEA, considering the absence of this memorandum of agreement, has not been into the jurisdiction of looking into the proliferations of illegal drug activities in the National Bilibid Prison.
The role of the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, MOA, were specified, Your Honor. And on paragraph 2E thereof, assist the Bucor in counterintelligence and investigation, especially with regard to any Bucor officers, personnel suspected charged of involvement in illegal drug activities. So, assistance, Your Honor, and under letter D, when requested, assist the Bucor in anti-drug operations. So, but based on what I gathered from our office, Your Honor, the request so far that PDEA received was only for the use of the canine dog, Your Honor.
Okay, last question. Now with the present new leadership of the Bucor, is this memorandum of agreement has been taken into consideration?
Yes, Your Honor. With the new leadership of the Bucor, Your Honor, PDEA is always involved in the Greyhound operation being conducted at the National Bilibid Prison.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Are the witnesses now seated? Yan na,
Mr. Chair.
okay na?
Mr. Chair, it's point of clarification now.
Kong Paduano, what is
Mr. Chair, since Deputy Director Ragos and Agent Tablin of the NBI is here in this hearing, can we also invite them, since the two witnesses pointed at their testimony, pointed Deputy Director Ragos and Ablin.
May we know if Director Ragos and Mr. Ablen are here?
We were informed, or we thought, that they are no longer needed because they have been examined yesterday. So,
Okay, so anyway,
they are not here.
Kong, wala na po yung dalawa. So anyway, we will, if need be, then we will require them to be present again in subsequent hearings after the committee had discussed this hearing. Okay?
Sir Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Sir Chairman.
Please.
I understand Mr. Ablen and Deputy Director Ragos were here this morning.
No longer here. Umalis na po.
Umalis
so
na po ba?
katatanong lang po.
Okay. Clarification, Mr.
Before
Chairman.
that, sige, Congressman Teves.
Yeah, I know the rules here kung paano yung order ng magtatanong dahil kanina narinig ko una si Congressman Fortun. Alam ko kasi ako na una kanina. At-
Pasensya na po, kasi baka hindi ho kayo nagpa-register para
No,
dito.
because-
Pero anyway, we will accommodate you, don't you worry.
No, ang sa
You
akin
will
ang
be next after Congressman Fortun as I read interpelators. So,
Yeah.
you will have your time. 3 minutes lang po kung, and this will not be long.
na it's
So,
ang sa akin lang, Mr. Chairman, is para sa susunod, alam namin dahil gumigising kami ng maaga, pumupunta ako dito, wala pa ibang tao, paano ako magpapalista kung wala man lang yung COMSEC dito? Kaya usually, iwan ko sa tao dito na pakisabi na una si Congressman Teves dito.
Anyway,
At magpapalista
siguro
ako.
mga administrative lapses lang po ito. The rule is dapat po magpalista. Kung wala pa po yung COMSEC, but Kong Teves, I was here at 9:30 and I can assure you the COMSEC was already here. So
I was
baka
here at
nagkulang-
8:30, sir.
Baka nagkulang po yung inyong 9:15 po ako dumating.
I was here, sir, at 8:30. Usually, I'm here at
8:30, wala
8:30
pa
every
talaga
day.
kayong makikita rito because ours is 9:30. Pero anyway, let us not argue on this.
Lang, Mr. Chairman, klaruhin natin
The
para
rule
sa
is-
susunod,
The rule
smooth
is
tayo.
magpalista po kayo kung gusto nyo magpa-interpolate apart from your attendance.
Yeah, sabi ko, Mr. Chairman, ipalista ako na una ako
Baka po
magtatanong
hindi
ako.
nasabi ng representative nyo yun
No,
na
it's
sa
not my
COMSEC.
representative. I asked somebody who was here, who was an employee. Dahil wala nga ako ibang masabihan.
Mahirap po yun. Hindi po natin alam kung sino yun. Anyway, just to abbreviate this discussion, sa susunod po ay sa COMSEC po, wag po yung kahit sino lang po dito.
Yun na nga, that's why I'm asking, Mr. Chairman, paano pag wala yung COMSEC? Ang sa akin, ang
Committee Secretariat, yung secretary po yun sa secretariat.
I know, paano pag dumating siya dito, tatlo na kami nandito, sino yung mauuna
Kung
magpalista?
sino po ang unang magpalista.
Yeah, that's why. So mag-uunahan na naman. That's why.
Ganun po ang ating procedure kasi hindi po namin ma-anticipate lahat ng gusto ng ating mga miyembro.
No, what I'm trying to drive at, Mr. Chairman, is...
I have said the rule.
Thank you.
Okay,
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, no, but I'd like to. I know I respect the sequence of questioning this morning, but I think my name was mentioned by one of the witnesses, or at least my family, no. So I think I have the right to at least clarify
we will
things.
recognize you ahead.
I will
with your
yield.
indulgence.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Thank you, Congressman Fortun, for yielding.
Please proceed.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Actually, no, I'd like to clarify things given the sensitivity of our issue. Now, mahirap na nababanggit yung mga pangalan, lalo na pag kaapelido mo yung nababanggit sa ganitong uring asyon, no? I'd like to ask Ginoong Trestisa, no? Ginoong Trestisa, nandito pa po yung witness. Yes. Sir, nabanggit niyo po kanina about Kakusa and pati yung apelido po ng tatay ko, and pwede po pakiulit just to clarify in front of the media in this August body.
Sinong witness ito?
Kasi
Please
party list po namin
respond.
yan eh.
You're recognized.
Ang Kakusa Party List po kasi, ginawa ho yan inumpisahan at ginawa ho yan sa maximum security compound.
Correct.
At ito ay inumpisahan habang si Congressman Halosos. At kasama ng ilang mga bilanggo doon, ito ay inilakad at ikinampanya noong 2007. At ito ay nakakuha ng seat dito sa Congress po, kung hindi po ako nagkakamali, ay 2010.
2010.
Apo, tama. At noong 2010 ay humingi po ito ng muling suporta para magkaroon ho ng second term. Ang hiniling po namin mga bilanggo, very is paano natin susuportahan ang isang tumatakbo nating congressman kung hindi natin ito nakakaharap. Hindi namin kilala si Attorney Congressman Ranulfo Canonigo. Wala, ni palayaw, doon lang namin sabi ng mga taga-kapanalig nila sa maximum security compound. Ang nangyayari pa, nung sinabi ko na pakiusap kasi kailangan po siya ang magbigay ng plataforma at kung ano man ang naging accomplishments niya doon sa isang panunungkulan niya bilang congressman namin at ito ay dapat harapin niya po kami bilang constituents niya.
Putulin ko lang, ano?
Opo.
Kanino ka ba sino ba kino-complain mo? Yung kanonigo o yung si...
Kanonigo po.
so,
Kanonigo.
malinaw na ba?
Mr. Chair, no? Pero gusto ko lang klaruhin. Thank you, Mr. Chair, no? Gusto ko lang klaruhin. Actually, I'd like to also use this time to interject. I think importante po yung mga information, yung mga experiences ko even sa loob, because I'd like to remind this chamber, no? Yung tatay ko po si Romy Nonong Aloshos, nakulong po siya 13 years sa maximum prison. And every week po ako nandun, every Sunday. So nakita ko po talaga ang pagbabago sa kulungan, and I'm sure some of the NBP personnel that is present right now can attest to the change sa ibinigay ng pamilya namin. And just to clarify things, may
Mr. Chair, point
may
of order.
kaalaman ka ba?
Point of order.
What's your point of
Ang
order?
nakalagay po sa rules, ang dapat nating i-discuss, ito pong germane and related to the issues at hand. Ang issues natin dito, yung proliferation ng droga sa loob. We
Correct.
are not here to cleanse the name of anybody or someone else.
Mr. Chair,
So, point
getting
of
to that
order.
point, Mr. Chair.
Sir.
I'm getting to that point, Mr. Chair, because it's very vital information that I can give, because I can actually give a comparison as to when, and ang problema dito, Mr. Chair, ang pinapag-usapan po natin kung bakit nag-proliferate. Hindi po natin nababanggit kung kailan nag-umpisa. Pero during that
sige
time...
po, please wind up. No?
Yes, oo. Mr. Chair, kasi yun po ang advocacy ng pamilya namin during the time na nandun siya. In fact, we had a rehabilitation program, a sports rehabilitation program, and every month, I don't know kung kasama ka po, sir, no, na umiikot po kayo and kayo holding a placard na against drugs. Kasama po tatay ko doon, kasama po yung mga gang leaders, kasama po yung mga religious sectors, no? And nakita ko po talaga, at nakakalungkot, na ganun kabilis umabot ang panahon na ang droga mismo ay nanggagaling na sa loob. Because I can, Chair, yun nandun po yung tatay ko, and I was there every Sunday. Wala po kaming naririnig na factory ng droga. Although meron pong gumagamit and they were only users. Pero I want to know and interject and ask kung kailan po nag-umpisa.
Kailan ba? Kailan?
Ano yung ground zero natin and sino po ang tumulak at sumuporta sa pagbebenta at paglalaganap ng droga hindi lang sa loob pero pati sa labas. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Salamat po. Meron bang pwedeng sumagot niyan sa inyo, Secretary? That is, so, Mr. Secretary, kailan daw ba nagsimula ito?
Actually po,
Dahil kayo po nag-imbestiga.
Mr. Chair, malinaw po naman yan dun sa mga testimony ng mga nakaraan nating witness. Nagumpisa po yan noong mga bandang 2011. Tapos pataas ng pataas hanggang maging 3 doble ang droga sa Bilibid itong hanggang 2014-2015.
Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. No, actually, 2 seconds lang, Mr. Chair. Later, I'll be...
Kay Kong.
Tama. Okay, Mr. Chair, I'd like to include lang my privileged speech later. Pwede ma-include siya sa investigation and this House Resolution 105 because it also pertains to this investigation and I think even bigger.
The proper venue is the Committee on Rules to refer that to us. Thank you. So anyway, we now recognize Congressman Fortun.
Chairman. Okay, this is just very brief, Mr. Chairman. Ang una ko pong gustong tanungin ay si Mr. Noel Martinez. Andito po. Sir, nabanggit niyo po sa inyong salaysay na po'y sinabihan ni JB na magbenta ng drugs sa loob ng Bilibid. Kayo po ay tumanggi at sinabihan nyo na para siya ay pumayag magrereto na lang po kayo ng mga tao sa kanya na magbebenta sa labas ng Bilibid. Tama po ba?
Iba po yung sinabi ko na magrito para magbinta sa labas at iba po yung inaalok niya sa akin na kailangan magbinta sa loob.
Oo nga po. Pero nung una kayong sinabihan, sabi niyo magrereto na lang po kayo na magbebenta sa labas.
Opo, magrito na lang ako ng tao para maibigay ko sa niya na magbinta sa labas.
Okay. Tanong ko lang po, ng droga sa labas, saan po ang source ng mga drogang ito? Galing po ba sa loob ng Bilibid o sa labas din nanggagaling ang mga drogang ibibenta sa labas?
Sa labas po ang droga.
Sa labas.
Wala
So,
po sa
hindi
loob.
po siya ginagawa sa loob ng Bilibid at nilalabas sa Bilibid para ibenta.
Walang droga sa loob na ginagawa, kundi galing sa labas din yung pinasok sa loob.
Okay. Salamat po. Tanong ko lang din po, paano niyo po nakilala si Mr. Jonel Sanchez?
Isang bisis ko lang po nakita yon at ipinakilala ni JB sa akin. Madalas sa cellphone na lang.
At sabi niyo po, siya po yung nagkukolekta mula kay JB ng mga koleksyon mula sa loob.
Opo, siya din po nagkukolekta.
Kinokolekta niya po mula kay JB Sebastian.
Opo.
At nakikita niyo po ito, ang pagkukolekta ni mula kay JB Sebastian.
Minsan lang po.
Minsan, isa, dalawang beses,
Isang bisis lang po.
isang beses lang. Yung mga sumunod na mga koleksyon ay hindi niyo na po nakita yon.
Hindi na, pero sinasabi ni Pare JB na iyon ang taga-kolekta.
Okay po. Yung pong sabi niyo na nagkaroon ng hindi pagkakaintindihan si Jonel Sanchez at di umano si Secretary de Lima, nagpalit na po ng kolektor. Ito ay si alias Makoy. Paano niyo po nakilala si alias Makoy po?
Hindi ko kilala yung Makoy, pero naikwento ni Pare JB sa akin na wala na yung si Jonel Sanchez. Na ang mangungulikta.
So hindi niyo ba personal na nakilala si alias Makoy?
Sa kwento lang ni JB, doon ko lang nakuhaan si Makoy.
So in other words, yung pong pagkokolekta ni Makoy mula kay JB Sebastian ay hindi po rin po natin nakikita yon. Kasi hindi nyo nga po siya kilala.
Hindi ko nakita si Makoy na nagkulikta kay JB, kundi sinabi lang ni JB sa akin na si Makoy na ang mangungulikta.
Okay. Para po kay Mr. Froilan Tristisa, sir, tanong ko lang po, sabi niyo sa inyong salaysay, para malipat po kayo doon sa maximum, nagbigay 100,000 para po kay Deputy Director Ragos.
Tama po, sir.
At after ng 200,000 na yon, ang sumunod noong Enero ay 100,000 na po kada linggo.
Please wind up, Kong Fortun.
Tama po, sir.
Okay. Tanong ko lang po, yung 100,000 kada linggo, sabi niyo, 2 beses po kayo. Kung hindi niyo mamasamain, gusto ko sanang malaman para sa committee ito. Kanino po nanggagaling yung 100,000 na binigay ninyo po kay Ragos?
Nung lumabas po ako ng Bartolina at ako po ay medium security compound. Ako ay di ba nakapagbigay ako ng 200,000. Sinundo ako ni Director Ragos. At nung ako ay nakalabas noong December 22, nararamdaman ko na ang presence na talaga may drug proliferation na sa. Dahil ako ho, ay talagang hindi ko pinapayagan sa amin yan. Hindi ko, maaaring hindi maniwala ang ilan, pero totoo na hindi namin pinayagan sa pangkat namin yan. Ngayon nung nakita ko yan, nalungkot ako ng lubos dahil wala rin ako magawa dahil ang ginawa ni Director Ragos sa pagiging commander ko, pinapirma niya ako na wag nang makialam sa pangkat at ang pagka-commander ko ay santabi muna. At ako ay magiging ordinaryong BCJ na lamang. Na kung saan ako ang may control, ako ang nagsasabi na bawal ito at bawal yon at lumalabas susunod sa pangkat. At doon ko nakita nakita ko na meron ng presence ng drug proliferation sa pangkat ko. At pinatawag nga ako, nakakapagtaka na patawag ako ng first week of January para pumunta sa director's office.